Good evening and welcome to another episode of I Am All I Am Inspiration and Motivation. Tonight I have a special guest that's joining me. She's going to give us a little insight into what's going on here in the world today. We got a lot going on, and a lot of people are questioning a lot of things, whether it's their religion or it's their economic status or anything in between. We're just trying to help you get some clarity. So we can get a chance to share this information. So I want you to welcome Queen to the stage. Welcome, Queen. Hey,
Hello, everybody.
how
How
are
are
you? Go ahead and
y'all?
introduce yourself and let the people know who you are. I mean, I've given an
Hey,
introduction, but
my
I would like
name
you to.
is Beverly Corley.
Okay, we got a little distortion, but go ahead.
At one time, I on entertainment. Um, Still repping it a little bit, but now I'm more doing my meditation boxes or meditation, whatever you want to call it. Tapped into just
So
peace.
what I would,
Um, Working, doing my own business now. Go ahead.
yeah, because I'm having a little bit of audio on this side issue, I'm gonna open the
You
floor
want
up
me to
more with an
finish? Or
open-ended question and allow you to go ahead with it in that direction until we can clear that up. Okay. So I'll just start out by saying it goes from a rap line from I think it was Queen Latifah and Money Love. She said, "Sister, my sister, tell me what the problem is. I try to listen up and give the best advice that I can give." So I'm asking you, sister, tell us what the problem is. What's going on? People are questioning everything, which in my mind, should. But what's your take on the matter?
oh, you ready for me
Yes.
to
What?
answer? You should question anything. You have to follow your and stop following the crowd. It's a lot going on right now. Politics, financial, with this plan that they have out here. Um, you just got to get back to nature. That's the I tell you is definitely the problem is people no longer embracing religion, no longer embracing spirituality. People are just being led by the news, or as we call it, the fake news. Um, you got to go back to and just do your own research. Even though we have all this stuff, when I hear a lot of people saying 2020 was a bad, 20 was an awesome year, for the most prosperous year I didn't have so far. But that comes planning and being prepared.
Right. You think that we're gonna be able to come out of this? I mean, like, what's your take on going into 2020? How you feel we're gonna roll out of this?
It's going to take the people to rise up. I mean, as long as people are let fear, we're not going to come out of it until the people say enough is enough. We're going to stay in this situation. It's sad it took a decision, made it political, but the people are going to have to do it. But the problem is put more faith in a mass than they people put more faith in a telling them what to do instead of their immune system. People put more faith in other people telling them instead of using common. So we the people, and we the people, I mean all people. Enough is enough. We can't stay on lockdown. People are afraid of a disease. We just can't. And until people rise up, we're gonna stay on lockdown.
What's your philosophy as far as if we step away from just today's current events? What's your philosophy on life? How do you approach life? And what's your overcoming? How do you deal with the everyday?
Um, I don't watch the news. I don't really dwell on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram because there's so much negativity. I like other people meditate. I every morning at 5:30. I'm out in nature, um, and I stay positive and I make sure I stay focused. I find things I do to take my mind off of all this BS stuff, and that's what gets me through it. I try to find people like goals. Like I don't like being around people that all they want to talk is the pandemic, or politics. Even though I love politics, even though everybody's not on the side of the fence that I'm on when it comes to politics, but I just refuse to let the government dictate. I'm gonna do me, and that's what gets me is staying focused. Um, I like listening to books. One of my favorites is Think and Grow Rich. Another favorite is As a Man Thinketh. Really, really book that people need to listen to is Conversation with the Devil. That book was wrote years and years ago, but if you
Napoleon
read
Hill.
it, it talks about everything.
Napoleon Hill, I think it is.
That's my favorite.
I listened to it already
Yes,
on YouTube.
Napoleon Hill. Yes.
Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm kind of the same thing with the like-mindedness, finding the right people that can really understand what you're talking about and where you're coming from. It's definitely motivation for you, not just to know. I mean, I know myself, so I'm not questioning it and judging it by what I hear from other people. But it's comforting to know that you can share some ideas with people that is not too outrageous in some people's mind. It's not going over their head. You know what I mean? Because a lot of that daily news or that noise that they try to put in your ear, if you get caught up in those current events, you're not really seeing the bigger picture. Like right now, I'm gonna give you some information that
Mm-mm.
I was thinking about with this new versus battle. That's what they call it, right? So you got a lot of people enjoying people going at each other verbally, you know, verbally assaulting, if you want to use that word, and they look at this as entertainment. Like think of the Coliseum and how the well-to-dos were in the Coliseum and all the warriors were down in the circle and they were enjoying the entertainment. And we still haven't come out of the fog enough to see. Can't you see they putting you against your brother? Can't you see they trying to cause nonsense? And y'all, oh, I'm gonna battle that guy, or I'm gonna do this to that guy, and this and that and the third. It's another form of putting you against yourself, really. That's just one of the things I look at. But outside of that, I see everything as being a necessary thing. Something has to happen for something else to happen. Every action having a reaction. I got
Yep.
another question
And
for you.
until people start thinking for
So
themselves, okay.
no, no, no. I was gonna let you complete that sentence because I'm formulating my question as I was thinking about it. You might have something else that you want to chime
Oh,
in on.
yeah. I said until people start um, it's just gonna be crazy. I think because everybody is pit against each other, it's like everybody's pitted against each other. You're either the Republicans are pitted against the Democrats, are pitted against the independents, then the spiritual people are pitted against the religious, and then you have the so-called wealthy ones are pitted against the middle class is pitted against the lower class. So we got to find a medium and learn how to say, I don't think like respect your thought process. And that we gonna keep on all this, and the chaos is meant to so that people won't grow spiritually.
Right, and even pitting a man against woman, and the weight of divisiveness and finding little ideologies to ride on. Oh, I'm riding on the feminism, or I'm riding on the whatever else ism, and that's just another way of dividing even man against woman. You know what I mean? And we sit there, being fooled and be like, yeah, that's right.
Worst one.
I'm this that.
That's the worst one.
That's one. Yeah, you got families being torn apart. You still riding with that. You still going with that. You don't care. Okay. So yeah, that's I didn't want to say it, but it is high on my ranking. Now that's some craziness right there. I ain't saying nothing about whether man is higher or lower. I'm simply saying let's look at the end result. Y'all want to keep on talking about all these little isms and movements. You see the family split apart. You see the sons and daughters is doing whatever they doing. It's out here. They out here, and y'all not willing to make no changes. And they say if you do the same thing, ain't that insanity? Like it ain't going okay, right? So that to me is
Same thing over and over.
it's like that's not working, right? You
Crazy.
need to
It's
go in
crazy.
another direction, right? So and on that note, what do you think about just relationships as a whole? How do you feel it has evolved as it has since the internet, since the Instagram, since the Facebook? Let's go back 15 years compared to now. What do you think is different, and what's your opinion on it?
Back then we were more personal. Now it's like you get a text message. You I mean, all this people don't spend up. Well, I can't say people. I mean, is that the physical of it is gone now. To be where men, and I'm gonna go old school. You thought they would ask you for a date, or they were more respectful. You had nobody calling us yo B or yo this or yo that. Times have definitely changed. Even the younger men, they saw an older woman, they would respect. They wouldn't be calling mommy. Now it's like the respect portion of it is gone. Even with the older men, and you guys will open the car door. They don't open the car door no more. They pull the chair. I'm not gonna say all guys, because I know some guys would say, "Oh, all of us aren't like that," but they don't pull a chair. Like I was going in a store, and I say, "Let me get that for because you don't see that." I had another guy. I was walking behind him. He left. I'm sorry, shorty. I'm like, shorty, I ain't your damn shorty. So it's really changed. It's like we have to get back to that mutual respect.
Indeed. Indeed, just admiring each other and appreciating each other as man and woman, and we just missing the beauty of it all, the beauty of each other's company, the beauty of each other's conversations, the beauty of like minds building. You know what I mean? You just like use the 5% they build it. You could build with your woman. Y'all could be building on some heavy stuff. Y'all could be connecting and talking about some deep
Right.
stuff if you want to take it there. You know what I mean? And I feel like nobody even values that kind of conversation. The conversation is like more around the monetary aspect. It's all monetarily based and connected and related, and the value of the human mind is kind of going by the wayside. Like you could be a genius, dude. You never know, but they're not seeing that. They're looking at monetary aspects, and they're looking at that as being a determinant as whether you have some value in
Right.
their life. And you could be the one that set them straight with some good words, but you know what? They wasn't trying to hear that. They was just trying to see what's the monetary aspect, and that's to me, it's a shame because, I know for a
Right.
fact I've gained a lot from just sitting and listening to people or talking to people, and it could be like I remember it was something like when I was on the bus one time. I didn't have my car at the time. I was in Charlotte when I lived in Charlotte, and this guy got in on the bus, and this happens to me periodically, and he had a whole book full of information he wanted to talk to me about. But it was more or less his story. He was more or less telling me his testimony, and I pretty much put on my psychology hat and spoke to him, and he was happy that I took that time out to even had this bus conversation for like 45 minutes about whatever was on his mind. And I feel like when I left, I left him with something. And so I don't think people value conversations like they used to.
Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
That's that you said that because today when I was out of Walmart, um, it was this Marine, and he said, "Simplify, devil dog," and he said he came over to me and he said, "How are you doing?" And it's like because of COVID, are so personal. He went to mass, and I said, "You good? You good?" Because little sick. So I'm like, "You good? You good?" Because I can't. conversate with somebody, you got your mouth. And I stood there with him for an hour and a half, just and what happened when he was in France and talking about communism way back in the 70s. For me, that was so fascinating, because I lived 20 years in the Marine Corps. I never saw a war, Only one was Okinawa and Iwakuni. But to actually sit there and just listen. And then when we were done, he was like, thank you, that was therapeutic. Some people just need that listening ear. And we've gotten away from that, especially with COVID. People don't want to touch you. People don't want you getting too close. Like I wear a shield, and people look at you with a shield when they're. We done got away from kindness with this plan.
Yeah, that's interesting. You talked about the wars because I had my daughter had a project. She had to interview Vietnam vets, and so I think it was Vietnam or was it World War II or Vietnam? Vietnam, right? It
Mm.
was Vietnam vets, and we have a
Ooh.
VFW right at the corner where I live. So I got a chance to go and sit with just that. This guy, and this is a real conversation. He got emotionally to the point that he started to cry and tremble, and I had to get up and caress him and hold him in position.
Wow.
And it was him plus there was like the head person of the VFW sitting at the table, so he was kind of like the monitor, if you will. And so we're getting into it, and we're getting into some touchy matters, and he was
Right.
talking about how a lot
Right.
of his people didn't come back home, and he felt responsible because he was, the leader of that group, and he felt like he left some bodies
Uh,
out there. So he went and he kind of left this mindset of the president. He was out there, so I grabbed him, held him,
Back in the
hugged him,
future. I mean, the
yeah,
past.
just bring him back to the present, rub his shoulders, and he was good. But he was crying. It was real.
Right.
It was real. So you know, whatever he was able to release at that particular time, is what it was. But like you said, you had a guy to come to you and just talk to you about what really happened, what really went on. And it's sad to say that even after all that, there are brothers who don't get their proper respect. I'm
Right.
not saying whether that brother was a brother, but I'm talking about brothers in particular because that people often forget, the struggles that it took. Like I had a 20-year veteran, my uncle. He had his arm in Vietnam. A Vietnam com got in the car, and because they look alike, he thought he was one of the good ones. When I say look alike, you got yourself and your North at that time,
Mm,
and they left.
right.
Yeah,
Right.
they left. He was giving the person a lift, and they left a grenade in the Jeep and blew his arm, and his arm was just lost muscle.
Oh no.
So, yeah, I had him, and I had my cousin Booker. He was I want to say he was also Vietnam, but I'm not exactly sure. But then the grandpa, which is one level, was in World War II. So I have several. My brother was 13 years. I was in the Marine Corps. Everybody has some type of contribution to that, and I said it saddens me to see that respect that you should be given to me is not being given because
Right.
of the color of my skin. And even though when it was time to take that oath, that color of the skin, you didn't have a problem with it then, but now you got a problem with it. So I think this nation as a whole, far as I can tell, the healing is way deeper than just a couple laws and if just like we said about insanity. If it was gonna work, it would have worked. If laws and affirmative action was gonna work, it would have worked. We wouldn't be dealing with the nonsense now. And one of the things that I'll ask you, because we talk about um, how law enforcement is handling its business. I believe they need a higher level of education, including a psychology type education. Meaning, I don't care if you got to go get a degree of 2 or 4 years. I think it's worth it. I don't think you should be qualified to go from high school to having a gun in your hand. Although we as Marines and some others, we go from 18 years old and they put
Yeah,
a
that's
gun in your hand.
interesting.
You put a gun in your hand. Same difference. Here's the difference. Here's the
Right.
difference. We can't just lock somebody up and take away their freedom on a heartbeat unless you're military police. And even with that, it's not the same as the out here on the streets. But you pretty much king of the land out here in the streets as a cop because ain't nobody standing right over you to say don't lock him up. Your judgment call to lock the person up on some disorderly conduct or some old trumped up charge is really up to you. You can always say disorderly conduct because you know why? It's so stupid and so hard to prove. You can snatch anybody off the seat and say he was disorderly and then later drop the charges. So that's how not good that is. And I'm just giving that's the low level. Wait till when you get to the shooting or anything else. Simple as that. I remember I had to check a guy on some. I asked him what his probable cause for stopping me because I do know about probable cause. So I parked my car, and yada yada yada. I said, "Well, what's your probable cause?" And he tried to run the light. Try to say something about the light. But I was like, that's bull. I look at the light, wasn't nothing happening. But when you can't even question your own law enforcement that's supposed to be protecting you because you have so much fear, something is really wrong. And I don't think that we're gonna fix it just by putting some laws in place. I mean, give me your take on it, though.
Other side of the fence when it comes. I think we need our own backyards because we have more of us, and I know everybody be like, "Oh, we don't want to hear about the black on black." But in Charlotte, we young black men killing young black kids. So I'm more
Mhm.
concerned about that than I am cops killing black people because I was pulled over by a cop. I have a concealed weapon permit. I had 3 cars at the time. And the officer came up. He said, "I'm going to ask you a question." He said, "I sure am." And he said, "Do you mind stepping out the car?" I said, and I stepped out the car. Now, thankfully, this right here gets you a lot of pull. When they see,
Yeah.
cops have a lot of respect for Marines. Said,
Right.
"Who was in the Marine Corps? You
Yeah.
or your husband?" I said, and I said, "Us." And
Yeah. I got a
he said, "All
tag in
right,
my
have a
car.
nice day." Now, this wasn't a black cop. And
Uh-huh.
he said, "Have a nice day. Slow down. You were going a little bit fast." And I admit, I was going. I think
Hmm.
is how you react, and I'm not saying in every case, but another story. My grandson, 17 years old, got pulled over, had a concealed weapon in the car, smoked weed,
You all
home.
out of order. He
He
all out of
was,
order. But go ahead.
did not lock.
Wow, that's
Um,
good.
the cop just told him. He said, "He was the Marine, my nana." And he said, "I tell you what, if your nana want this pistol, she could come get it." He said, "But you go home, go home. No incident, no incident." Now they could have locked him up, the kids down, and you got to be careful what you install in kids. I don't teach my grandsons to be afraid of no cop. I teach them to be respectful to everybody, regardless of who it is. Yes, no, yes, sir, no, sir. Because sometimes the the attitude that you give out is the attitude that you're going to give back. And it's been days where I had a little attitude, somebody came back at me with an attitude, and then I had to think, that's the attitude you're going to get it back. So in a lot of cases, we have to take, saying that people, but we have to learn how to take responsibilities for our actions. Sometimes I do because people think that karma is something that happens today, years ago, and now that karma is coming back to you. So sometimes you got to check yourself because you're the problem, not everybody else. Now, as far as cops getting degrees, yeah, I do think that. But another thing we need to look at, a lot of managed people get killed by cops, but the news, people get killed by the cops. News don't tell you to. My question is, why is it they only want to focus on it when it's a white cop killing a black person?
Right.
We have to rectify the problem of the all the killings. The this killing. Because last night, and a 6-year old that got shot by a stray bullet. When they caught the people that did it, it wasn't no cops. It wasn't no cops. A little 6-year-old playing house got shot by a driver. And guess who it was? It was a bunch of teenagers. A bunch of teenagers. So this lady that lost her child because a bunch of idiots was out there shooting, and they shot that little child. So we got to clean that up first.
Yeah, I
Our
can't.
own backyards.
Yeah, I can't agree more that we definitely have to handle your home base first because you ain't clean up your home. Your home ain't clean. You can't go clean nobody else's home. That's for sure. That's why I wasn't really leaning on black and white as much when I think about education levels. I thought when I first came out of high school and going into college, I thought I knew a lot. Then I took a couple of courses because like the psychology courses and the sociology courses gave me a further understanding of the human mind. And I'm thinking if your primary focal group
Right.
is humans, you should have a certain level of qualification to deal with humans. So that's why I'm not saying black person need to get a degree or a white person need a degree. I'm saying the level of qualification federally from a federal down. Meaning, can you be a doctor without getting a certain degree? No. Can you be a lawyer without getting a certain level of degree? No. But you can have a gun and kill somebody without a certain degree? Yeah. I think they have to step it up.
Well,
Can you?
you have to
Oh, I'm
define. I
not
mean,
talking about the medicine doctor.
so you're thinking,
What can you do?
see, because I consider myself I, to heal myself.
Yeah, I'm
I
not
need
talking
my
about,
mind.
yeah,
Because, see,
yeah,
everything happens. But I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
yeah,
But I still
yeah. I'm not,
don't think that just because a person has going to make them pull that trigger. Because I'm going to tell you, if
right,
somebody running at me, I don't care if you white, black, purple, pink, red, I'm going to shoot your ass. I don't
right,
care. I feel that my life is in danger and it's me. See you, boo
right,
boo. See you, boo
right.
boo. You see how having a degree, I think it's going to come down to common sense, and I think, what
Yeah.
I think we need to go back to community policing. When I grew up
Mhm,
in see that with a police in the neighborhood. So if Ray carry your ass on down with my bag, carry your butt on
mhm,
down the street. So if we back to community policing, I think that would solve a lot of the problems too, because you're from that neighborhood and you know the neighborhood where the problem coming in. Cops that come from a totally different place don't know Adam from Eve. And
mhm.
a lot of these white cops, I mean, it's Cater brothers, so they see a brother wielding a knife or something like that. Hey,
Yeah, I've
sad
seen
but
some
true.
ridiculous video. Like I see, because when you say that, I chuckle because I see the opposite. Like when you said, okay, they scared of the brother, right? But a white dude can run up on him, grab the gun from the holster, choke him by the neck. He still ain't trying to shoot him. I mean, like, how does he get away with all of that? Like, and these are videos that I've seen previously, a lot of them,
They
and
don't
it's like,
they
hmm.
don't have that. Just
Go
think
ahead. I'm
about
sorry.
it. If you don't fear something, if you don't fear, then you're gonna react different. And they don't fear the time, they just don't.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
us,
yeah,
especially the ones that know who we really are, then yeah, they feel they
yeah.
know that once we get in that zone, that you get that supernatural power that everybody say they got last night from the shut your face from the moon and stuff lining up. But they know they got that supernatural power.
Mhm.
They, you watch these like the Hulk. We really go there.
Right,
You piss us
right.
off, we turn it to the
I
Hulk.
know
Now
that. I
they
used to do that too.
made it seem like
I
it
tell
was
everybody that.
you
Yeah,
bring exactly.
hmm,
So they know.
yeah. I used to do that. I used to
It's just that
explode.
we don't know. That's
You hit the nail on the head. That's what you. That's what we talking about. You don't. They don't. People that don't know their true self, that God body within them, and that force that you can use metaphysically speaking to
don't.
compel a situation. Who's that? Maya? But you still got Maya? Yeah, yeah. I know Maya. I said they can
My
use.
dog I got.
Yeah, what about I don't know. I don't remember the name. I remember Maya because he used to always sit by me and talk to me all the time. But the other ones used to be out in the back, the boys, because they were a little bit more rowdy.
Yeah, that
But
was Shay dog.
yeah, the mother ones. But what was I gonna say? So basically, they don't know the God body, God power that lies within. And like you said, those
Mm-mm.
folks know your great power, and they try to keep you blind to the fact that you have said power, and therefore you cower in fear. And even think when you see some energy move about in your circumference, you think, "Oh, that was the boogeyman." Not that you have an energy force that's actually moving around and within and about you. So you've been convinced to be scared of your own self. You have a dream that you've been chased, and then you
Exactly.
wake up, you turn around, it's actually you. That's the trade. That's the dream that you have. That you fearing you because you don't know
You go
you.
deep now.
So
You go deep.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, because I've lived this truth. I've lived this
You
truth. I've lived this truth where I stepped out of body. You know, I've lived this truth where I've done the flying and all that dropping down and been to the body. I've already been through all of it. I've been to stepping into the other side and knowing thyself. So I don't have fear. The first time it happened, I had fear because I had
right.
Jesus embedded in me. So I just kept saying it was a Jesus thing, and I didn't have no other reference point. Then when it happened again, um, what happened? I would say 3 times altogether. The first time, totally didn't know it was a G. I was like totally oblivious. Second time, halfway there, still not conscious. Third time, it's like I know I've been here. I know what this is, and I didn't have no fear. And so now that I'm in that zone, now that I'm on that side, I'm like, good. I don't really
Right.
worry about nothing because I already know what it is. And like you said, once you have your God body circumference and you send it, they fear you because now you grounded. You could even watch your presence when you go into a store or you go in something. You see how things kind of move, that vibration. They know you coming through with that energy.
Exactly.
And so it once we all ante up like building blocks, the more people we get that got that thing, that universe is, it's just like a big old magnet. Now we all got this conscious thing. So what they got to do is rock some of y'all back to sleep.
Right.
Get you back to sleep. I don't care by any means necessary. We're gonna scare you.
They
We're
did
gonna
it.
say we're gonna do this to you. We're gonna send you to church. We're gonna do all the things we can to keep you blind, deaf, and dumb. And so, you know, we got to just continue
And
to
that's what COVID did. COVID. I
okay.
think COVID was used to rock people to sleep because it made Christians a disease process. It made the scare a disease process. I mean, you still got some people that always my immune system is more powerful than the disease process. And if I was to get that disease process, then I know how to go within and heal myself. It's so many simple things you could do if you did get COVID. And my thing is fearing a disease that has a 99, depending on your age, the survival rate is 99%. I mean, when I worked in Target, we had so many people in Target that had it, and then when they came back, I was like, well, what happened to you? They was like, nothing. I had no symptoms. I'm like, well, did they go with meds? And they was like, no, they just told us to go home. So that's when I started, reading. I did respiratory. I was in respiratory when they had H1N1 and all this other stuff. I was
Mhm.
like, you know what? This fear, people just don't know how fear is. And on the other
Right.
side of fear is so if we could just get the vibration up to love as opposed to fear, it change things. But every time when we take that one step forward, like they had the vaccine, which I mean go there. But anyway, soon as they get then here they come. Oh, it's the mutate. I'm like, so soon as people start to say, I could breathe again, they go throw something
Mhm.
else at you. And people just put so much faith in the government. I said, if the government could feed you, the government could starve you. So you should never
Mhm.
let your life get to the point where you're totally dependent on somebody else take care of you. And that's where we are today. People are like going crazy over this $600 stimulus check. Now, granted, I know people need it. I really do. However,
Right.
you always got to have multiple sources of multiple streams of income. You just can't be dependent on one stream of income because when you do, you set yourself up to where you're at the mercy of the government, and the government don't give a damn about you. The citizens $600, but they gave $1 million for some damn gender evaluation. And I'm like, we
Right.
got to get to the point where I was talking to this lady this morning, and I said, we got to get to the point where we're financially literate, and we're not. We're not. Time ago, I told myself, you always make sure that you have 6 months rent put up. You make sure you got 6 months. And if you can't go for 6 months, go for 4 months. Be able to sustain yourself for a little while. Teach yourself how to grow. Even if you find one food that you know how to grow that food. But we got to get back to learning how to take care of ourselves. And that's what we done got away from. People are so dependent on the government for stuff now. They're just lost.
Mm. Well, 6 months of mortgage or 6 months of rent, you got to have something in the backup plan because, like you said, if you put yourself in a position to only have them as your main and only source, and it doesn't work out, there's not a lot of recourse. And right now, the economic divide is growing wider, and you hit the nail on the head. I'm definitely open. One of my shows is called Earning and Learning. I started with a stock trading 101, but I know I need to step back many steps to get to the basics of even understanding finances and budgets and things like that people need. A spreadsheet is something that I've lived with for years. I live my whole life through my spreadsheet, whether it's looking at what they call you future value. I got future value formulas in there. I can tell you if I put this money this way at this interest rate, it would grow to this amount. I got cash flow statement in there. I got the balance sheet in there. And these are the things that help me make financial decisions, not just today, but tomorrow and well into the future. And I can tell you how many people, maybe on my hand,
Right.
I could say they actually use a spreadsheet. Let alone they talking about I'm a budget to someone. I
I
mean, I'm
don't.
not saying you cannot. I'm not gonna say you cannot, because not everybody understands it. I mean, granted, I'm not saying everyone even uses it, but you will be surprised if you have. I know what you're gonna say. I don't use it. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you're not alone. That's what I'm trying to say. You're not alone because either they
I
don't
don't.
understand it and they
I'm
don't
not even gonna
understand how to
lie. I
use
don't.
it. Right. I understand. But the thing is, because it's almost like if
You
you're
know
a
what?
doctor of a certain, go ahead.
I like.
Go ahead. Can
I
you?
like keeping it simple. A spreadsheet,
Mm,
and that's too much. That's just too much. I use the 10 10 10 rule. I pay myself first. See, I used to be the
okay.
idiot, and I would pay all my bills
Right.
first. I learned you don't do that.
Mm,
You pay yourself first. So every pay ten
right.
percent goes to me. 10% goes into one investment account. 10% goes to cryptocurrency. All that spreadsheet stuff, I tried
Hmm.
it. It don't work for me. It don't.
Hmm.
I mean, people be like,
What
"You need
what
a
what
budget.
didn't
You don't
what didn't work?
have a budget."
What what
Oh,
was hard about it? What didn't
I don't
work?
like all them
What
numbers.
exactly? Okay.
I don't
Okay.
like.
Yeah.
I don't like all them numbers. I just don't like it.
You know what?
See,
My
when
my
you read
daughter
books
said the
like
same
Think and
thing.
Go Rich,
Yeah.
she like me. But see, to me, when I have a budget, telling my mind that I don't have to manifest what I need. It's telling me that I don't have faith that if I need that $100, I can't spend it because it's not within my budget. I'm not putting that limit on myself. Something that I know I gotta go get my little book and I gotta say, um, I got this little anytime I spend, I say money goes out, or I say I'm circulating my money. I don't circulate money because when you spend
Hmm.
money, money don't come back to you. But when you circulate it back to yourself. Then that way I know that if I spent that $100, that I got to circulate the $100 right back. So that's why I can't do spreadsheets. I can't, I'd be like, okay, what's my thing is what's my goal for today? I might say my goal for today is to sell 2 boxes. If I
Hmm.
sell 2 boxes, I'd have made the money I need. But looking at that spreadsheet and all that, see, I'm like, I
Yeah.
can't do
You,
it.
like I said,
They put me on a
you're
budget.
not in
Let
you're
me tell
not in
you,
you're not alone. You are not
like budget
alone. Like
that.
I
What's
said,
that?
and like the thing about it is because I am an accountant by profession, to me that's a natural thing. And it's gonna be natural for me because that's what I do. But I can't expect everybody's gonna really
Okay,
understand a spreadsheet.
okay,
But I will, like I said, when it comes
okay,
to the finance,
okay.
just teaching the basics of how to handle money and even definitions, because I went back into letting my children know what is
Right.
finance, what is a finance charge, what is that, what is interest, what is that, just little pieces in that, and then building up to why do I use a spreadsheet for my particular situation depends on the kind of revenue that I have handled. You know what I'm saying? So I handle a certain amount of revenue, and I certainly am not going to be trying to figure that out with my fingers or whatever it is. I can't do that. The numbers need I need to have a spreadsheet for the numbers that I have to deal with. I mean, those numbers is not, you know what I'm saying? I'm
Right.
150,000 or 200,000 running over. I'm not going to figure that out with my fingers. I got to get to the spreadsheet and be like, yo, I want to do something in 6 months. What I got to do right now to handle business, or I want to pay off my house in 7 years. Let me go to the amortization schedule and see how much more I got to pay into my amortization schedule so I can knock it out in 7. That's the perfect example. I can't just go with my fingers. I got to go to the amortization schedule. It says you pay 2 G's more or
Now,
7
see,
or 3 G's more. I'm gonna finish it in a certain amount of
right.
time. So certain things, you know what I mean?
Now,
So I
on
use
the
it.
site that I pay
Go
my
on, go
mortgage,
ahead.
they have it. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, see, I
I
mean,
got
it's
that. I
little
got it on there.
tools that I use. I just don't sit
Yeah,
down. I just don't sit down and
you don't
my
sit down with a
investment,
spreadsheet.
it's like I invest the money. I don't sit there and watch. Well, I did. Somebody had told me to get into this new crypto. They get into it. It's 3 cent. I was like, it's too new.
Mhm.
Which it was my son, and then he called me. He said, "Mom, that 3 cent crypto went up to 25 cents." I was like, "Shit, let me hop in." So I
Mhm.
hopped in 25 cent,
Mhm.
and I did glance at it yesterday, and it went from 25 cent up to 50 cents. So I doubled my money. Now I won't touch
Right.
that no more. I'm done with that. I'm just going to leave it and let it do what it do.
Mhm.
Even with Tesla, I finally decided, go ahead and buy some Tesla. I should have did it a long time ago, but
Mhm.
no. So finally, I jump into Tesla, and Tesla go down. Like,
Mhm.
see, you jump. I said, but see, I bought it when it was on sale. But people
Mhm.
don't. A lot of us don't get in the stock market.
Right.
A lot of us don't invest. Now, that's important. I
Mhm.
put in a bank account, in a savings account, and yeah, it was a interest savings account. I didn't touch it. I just happened to look at it, and I got pissed. I got pissed because the money that was in that savings account, had I have taken that amount and put it in Tesla, I would have a nice little nest egg, even for a year.
Mhm.
But because I wasn't thinking, I put it in a bank account, and that was the biggest mistake you can make because the interest rate right now is 0%.
Mhm.
On that account, I think they was giving you 2%. But when I looked at my IRA, especially on index fund, it tripled in a year. So, those are little things, little mistakes that we make as we start venturing over into the market. A lot of us are afraid of the market, but you make more there than you do over here. And the bank, I say use the bank account for your safety net. What we said, have the money for your mortgage and stuff like that. Other than that, we gotta learn how to make that money grow. I want to find my group, a group of people that want to invest, a group of people that's going to take the time to. And I can't find those type of people. Litecoin
Yeah.
is $15. Litecoin is $100. So we
Yeah. That's a
people are so afraid of things that they go out here and they will buy. Go ahead. Oh, I was letting you talk. Go ahead, because I'll
Oh,
be
I'm sorry.
the.
I thought you froze. I'm looking. I'm saying, did she freeze or no? I was gonna say
No, I didn't
the
freeze.
thought of
I
having
was
that
just
group
finished.
though. Oh, okay. The thought of having an investment group is a novel thought, and it's been so many investment clubs that I've seen. Some worked out. A couple of seniors one together one time. A couple of older women got together and pooled their funds as a club, and they made out pretty good. So you definitely have to have like mindedness and a certain level of trust and accountability because we are talking
Right.
about money. So accountability and trust and things of that nature. Um, who heads the fund, who has the knowledge, should be the person who handles it. But at the same time, you're not going to make that person the sole decision maker. You know what I mean? And sometimes people have different viewpoints when it comes to investing, whether it's long term or mid term or even short term. For me, Right now, I'm
What?
more into the trading game. I've been in investing for years. But the investing, I learned investing from being an
Okay.
accountant at KPMG, B. Warwick in New York City, where I used to audit the investment banks. So I got a chance to see their books, like
Okay.
Donaldson, Lefkin, Gen Red, you know, Boney, Citibank. So I was able to look behind the scenes. Even insurance companies, I was able to check on their stuff to kind of learn a little bit. And then before I graduated, I was working in a small investment firm where I didn't do the trades. I was just the accountant, so I would just enter the buys and sells into the system spreadsheet, like I told
Okay.
you.
Okay.
And so I got a chance to look. So my knowledge, and they call it sophisticated investor or accredited investor. That just means you have a certain understanding of the market because they'll give you certain things or let you take certain risks that they couldn't let a non-accredited investor take. So I'm in that accredited investor like status. So I just want to impart that knowledge because every morning I
Okay.
used to, I still do it. There's charts that I go and look at every morning, and I can tell you with 99.99% accuracy that this particular stock is going in a particular direction. But you brought up a very poignant point
Well, why'd
when
you
you
start
said you
doing
had
that?
Tesla. I do that now. If you go to Fat Cat Capital on Facebook, and you'll see my actual trades
Hmm.
on there, and you see, good trades. But trading and investing are two different things.
Oh wow.
Investing is long term. Trading is the difference.
Right.
Trading
Right.
is
Right.
what we're trying to get done right
Right.
now, but I'm making 30% in 30 minutes.
Right.
Trading is the opposite side of the investing because we take the investor's money and pool that money as traders, and we make goo gobs over
Yeah.
4 or 5 years, and then we hand you back 8% when we've probably made 30% every 2 hours.
Right.
That's the way the structure is. There's nothing wrong with it, but that's how the structure works. That's the only way it works. You got to have liquidity in the market
Right.
for it to work. So what a trader is doing, he's looking at what happened with a particular stock. For example, Pfizer was hot, Moderna was hot. There's this company called Neo. It's like an offset
Right.
to Tesla. They're moving. Why are they moving?
Yeah.
We look at the
Everybody
news
on
for the
Neo
day.
now.
Right. We look at the news for the
Right.
day. We look for a catalyst, what's making this move, and then we determine what's going to be our watch list. What's going to be the stocks I'm going to watch today, and make moves on. And we might make a move
Right.
between 9:30 and 10. That stock can be dead by noon. So it doesn't mean I ride it all day. Well, if you're a day
Right.
trader, you're gonna go and handle the business on the day. If you're a swing trader, it goes overnight. And then your style as a day trader, I'm what they call a
Right.
scalper. That's my preferred trading, and that's like it goes up a little, I sell it, I
Yeah. I
buy it
know.
back. It
I
goes up
did
a little, I buy it, sell it.
forex for a little while.
Okay, so
Right.
you understand it from the forex
Yeah, I
perspective,
did
right?
forex for, but trading
Uh-huh.
is not. Trading's not for me. It's okay.
It's not for
I say
everybody.
for those people that want to be glued to the computer, watching the call and all that. You do you, boo boo. I can't do it. I ain't have time because I take
Right?
care of elderly patients, clients,
Yeah, that would be
and
hard.
it's like one time I get out of a trade and it was she was doing something and I couldn't get out that trade and I lost some money.
Yeah.
So I was like, good, I'm good.
Yeah, this is not
I like
trading is
the
a full
investing now.
time.
I
Yeah,
do like Neo.
yeah.
Oh yes,
Trading is a
yes.
full time
I can't
job.
do it.
But here's the
I
thing.
can't do
Okay,
it.
let me qualify that. Trading is a full time job, but you only really need to work 30 minutes in a day to make your money. Like I used to, when I first got in, and this is what happened. This year, I decided all the years I knew about investing, I used to hear about trading. When I first entered Wall Street, I was 17 years old, and I worked at Barclays Bank as a mailroom person. And I had to go to school one week and go to work one week because my grades were good. They said enter this program where you can just go to school every other week and you can work in a regular job. So I was at the bank. I was in the mail room, but I would have to take mail to the LC place, letter of credit. I was all throughout just learning the bank system itself. And I would see young guys driving Porsches and things like that. And I was like, how are they doing this? I didn't know about the trading that much. I just seen it happening. And then this year, I decided with
Right.
all that knowledge and all the time that I was taking to understand investing, let me start learning about the trading side of the deal. And that's when I really dedicated myself. And you do have to know your strategy and then apply it. It's not like you really got to bend all day. If you have a certain system, as long as you keep to your system, then it usually works out. You don't want to kind of go off your system. And that's what I develop, a strategy that's consistently making you know, making pluses. And you can make money when the stock is going down. You can sell short. So even when you, if you
Oh yeah,
understand the market how it
yeah,
works, if
oh
I
yeah.
seen the Tesla going at, you just sell it at the high and grab it back at the low, and so you still make money, but you be in the money. And when you in the money, you already made your money, so that's a better trade than even when you long. When you long, you gotta wait till it go up, then cash out. When you buy short, you're already having it because you borrowed the stock from the broker. And he said, "Let me hold that." You went and sold, you got money, and then the value of the price of that went down, and you bought it back and gave him back his his stock, and that's how you get the money. That's
See that's too much. And leave it there.
that's why I said now
Because
she's
we're buy
classy.
Tesla,
That's why I teach
leave it
classes.
there, and then in 5 years you sell.
That's why look, it's so complicated
You
that I decided
go,
to make
no,
it. That's why I teach the class. It's not something you can just like. You can't just like give them 5 seconds. You got to teach a class to really. If somebody who wants to learn this, they got to get into a class situation,
right,
and they're gonna go to
right.
a paper trading account, and I'm gonna let them trade with a paper account, $1 million of paper. If you can handle business, then you go to the live. So it really is systematic. But no, you can't. You do have to like acquire this through a class situation because it's crazy, and you can lose a lot of money. You can lose
Like
a lot of money.
oh
So
yeah,
like
because that
on
didn't get there. I was like, never again. And what make it so bad? It's like I got my client and she tripping, and I got my phone. I'm like,
mm,
I need to sell. I need to sell. And she was like, why you on
mm,
your phone? Get off your phone. So I was
mm,
like, and by the time I got
mm,
into it, it was gone. It
it's
happened.
gone.
Think of it out. So
It's
I said,
gone.
nope. You know what?
Yep.
This is not. Yes. That
And
was
look,
the
I
days
got
where I said,
lucky because of
okay, my energy must have been off that day.
and she asking you why you on your phone. That's really probably annoying you because you trying to
No,
get out the
can't do it.
trade and she wants you to answer some
Yeah.
questions right here.
I'm
Oh
like,
man,
lady, if you
look,
don't
I
shut up,
even
get my money.
right. Look, I ain't got time for you. Look, I ain't got time. I'll be quick to say, look, I ain't got time. But I learned a lot of this stuff on YouTube. There's like 3 channels. I got 3 places I go look for my news every morning, and they are reliable sources. And so because I got my YouTube channels that I watch, I go there and get my information, and then I go research it on like what's called FinViz and Seeking Alpha. I go check on stuff, Wild Catalyst, and then I'll be ready to go by 9:30. I'm ready to go. But anyway, on a different note, we changed the page on that one. But yeah, that's not something you can take lightly. But financial literacy, if people don't learn how to write a check or balance the books or
Oh,
budget, they can forget about talking about trading. You don't even need to go.
people,
You can. If you,
people still write,
huh? Wait, say again. No, I
people
said,
still
oh
write
yeah, writing
checks.
checks is old school. I know that's old school, right? No, I'm not. I'm saying,
That's real old
I
school.
guess you
Who
say
do that?
ain't nobody ain't nobody writing no checks. That's true. Unless you the old lady in the line, unless you in the shopping line and you at the grocery store and you still writing checks, and people be mad. They like, what are you doing? Why are you holding up the
I'd
line?
be like, let me pay for it for you. Just let me pay for it.
Look, she don't just write the
Just like
look.
they be, I'm like, nope, mm-mm.
Right. Look, she ain't gonna just write the check. She gonna balance a book. She going to the balancing section. She got to write one over here and then write another number on that side. and you're like, for real? No, you can't do that. Yeah, check writing. Yeah, I don't know too many people writing checks nowadays. It's like debit card city, debit card
Mm-mm.
heaven, debit card, debit card. That debit card is
You
tricky
know
too,
what?
though,
They
because you
don't
know.
even really do debit card no more.
Oh yeah, your phone.
Everybody
You
doing
can
the
just
phone app.
yeah. I got the same.
Now I
That's
ain't
what I
got
do.
one
I
yet.
just
I'm
take my
like,
phone. I do Apple Pay, but you don't like Apple, so you don't got that wallet.
hey, let me tell you something, right? So yesterday, I was gonna buy some Apple stock, right? I do not like the
Yeah,
iPhone. I do not like the iPhone. Mess around to the
yeah,
bought it. Did you see Apple?
yeah. I did. Yeah, you felt some type of
It
way.
went
You
Apple
took
went up
it.
5% yesterday.
hmm
I said, you
Yeah,
know what?
you
You
want
can't be biased when it comes to investing.
And making your money
So
on the stocks.
went on and bought it.
Yeah.
Said, yeah. I was
Yes.
like, ah.
Hmm. Yeah, you gotta be careful with getting all personal with the stock. The rule number one for stock trading, you cannot have an emotional attachment to money. Meaning, like, it come and go. If you really want to really make it, because you
No.
will be doing scared money. Scared money don't make money. You already know the rule. So if you talk
Don't
about
make
I'm mad
money.
at Apple
Nope.
because I
Nope.
don't like Apple, so Apple gonna mess around and have you broke because you mad at Apple.
But see,
Like,
one
really?
thing that people need to realize, I tell people I get in a small index fund because when you get in a
Hmm.
small index fund, you got a bunch of funds. So when one fund go down, you got another one that's coming up. So you kind of it balances itself out.
Right.
So I put a lot of the small index funds, but I
Yeah.
still have. But I didn't put Tesla on index fund. I actually went out there and said I'm gonna be big money grip and I'm gonna buy me a stock of Tesla.
What?
So I jumped out there and was like, ooh, and bought it.
Like,
But should have went, ooh, Apple was cheaper. Apple was only, I think Apple was $124 a share.
mhm.
Tesla was $650 a share. You know how many stocks of Apple I could have got?
You gotta got quite a
Because I
few.
don't like Apple.
Because you don't like Apple. See, that's what I said. You and
I
Apple
know.
better have a talk. Because you mess around, miss out on some money.
I know,
Being
right?
mad at
I
Apple. Look,
know.
you and Apple better kiss and make up so you can make this money. Oh
Look,
my
I
God.
gotta chill with Apple for a little bit. I gotta chill, but I'm gonna get some. I'm gonna
Yeah,
get some. That's my next
yeah.
stock. I'm gonna buy some Apple.
And Tesla is very finicky. I had Tesla at one point. It was about a couple months back, and I had more options with it. An option is basically when the price is a certain location, high or low, I get to buy it at whatever I agreed to in this contract. So let's just say it's
Right,
up there somewhere, and I agree I'm going to
right.
get it at this price. So now I get in, and I get it at the lower price. So there's my profit right there. I can flip that and turn back around and sell it, or I could just stay in because I already got it at a smaller amount. So that thing, I think it was around 420 that when I had that option, and it was all over the place. I was like, Tesla is just unpredictable. It's like a moody child. You just don't know when it's going to take off. So I just kind of moved back and let the dust settle. And now recently, at least it's got somewhat kind of more stable. But I don't know. They look at Steve. What's his name? What's that guy's name? The guy who said a Tesla.
Amazon.
Mm, what's his name?
Um,
What is that dude's name? What's the name? Tesla guy's name?
that's Elon
Elon
Musk.
Musk. Elon Musk. Yeah, yeah. He
It's
he
Elon
has such
Musk.
a yeah. Elon
Yeah,
Musk. He has such a dominant personality and very very volatile. Like that to say he's kind of fickle minded. I mean, I think he's a genius, but that company rides on his shoulders. Like some companies are not that attached to the actual creator or the shareholder or the. But with him, there's
right,
been times where they looked at what he was doing and then they reacted based on what he was doing, not necessarily that the whole company was having a
right.
problem. Like right now, he built some factories in China, and they ain't gonna turn around and say and they're gonna dictate how it's gonna go down now that he built the factories. Like when it's gonna be operating and when it's not gonna be operating. And like I said, here's the thing about and I don't want to knock a country, but if you have a country that is for itself exclusively, they by any means necessary, they will steal your intellectual property. They will have you build something to see how you build it, and then go and build
Mm-hmm.
something similar and cheaper. Why do you keep
And then
trusting
steal it.
the same
Yep.
situation? Why do you keep trusting it? That's like a bad relationship. Why do you keep trusting them? A snake is a snake is a snake. You gonna go and do something. I'm gonna do some business because you're so concerned about getting over there doing business, but they'll cut your throat and don't care nothing about it. I just be like, beware of that kind
Not
of
at all.
situation. Now, taking that into anybody extrapolate. Have you met somebody like that that's like, um, I'm gonna get the right word. That really is like cutthroat by any means necessary. They step on people, they don't care, who they hurt or what happens, who's in their way. It's all about, well, I need to make sure I get myself ahead. And would you really want to be a friend with that person? I'm like, yo, I'm trying to get far away. You may not stepped on me now, but it ain't but a matter of time before I be the next one on your chopping block. Cause you telling me no holds bar. You know what I'm saying? You know what they say about the You know what I'm saying? Like, what did they tell you about the people thieves? About thieves, there's no honor among thieves. That's the same terminology. If I know you, if
Right.
that's how you are as a person, I'm really gonna be questioning. Like people always say, if somebody talking about somebody else to you, they probably talk about you to somebody else.
You
So
to
I
somebody else.
keep my circle
Yeah, that's
small.
what's up.
I keep my circle small because if I'm
You
looking
got
at
to.
you and you all doing all that, mm-mm, mm-mm. Keep your circle small. You know, that's a good look. You
Very,
know what I mean? That's
very. I roll
you
solo.
know,
I like
yeah, pretty much
it
me
for
too.
me. It's all about yeah, like energy. I mean, if I read energy really, really well, and if I meet you and I'm not feeling your energy, I'll be respectable to you, but I'll be like, yo, I got to go over here.
Yeah,
So
yeah, right. I don't have a lot of my friendships lasted 40 years or so now. The people that I have affiliated with, when I say friend, we're talking those guys and those people, males and females that I know, 30 to 40 years, and we're still friends. We still connect. We still talk. In any given day, we're on the phone for hours or whatever, and it's just that kind of love. And I chose them wisely, and their behavior is consistent, meaning like this person is not going to change up and all of a sudden be something else. This is a consistent person. This is how they are.
right.
Good person. That's the kind of people I can build on. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the nuances today, and that's what we're gonna get into. Don't you see like the difference between that loyalty and what's today is like people building on sand. They're like they ain't really loyal to this. Step on you what I get from you, and then I'm moving on. Can't get no more from you. All right, gotta go.
Oh yeah,
That's the mentality. We didn't grow up on that. I grew up on some
yeah,
loyalty. You know what I mean? What about you? What you thinking on that?
yeah. Loyalty nowadays. I mean, I think most of the people that I
Amen.
have loyalty from is actually shades. Um, it's you still got a few loyal people, but their loyalty done went out the window. It's like nowadays
Yeah.
people all about self. Um,
Right.
and ain't nothing wrong with that me first mentality because I will definitely say me first mentality. I'm not gonna let you pull me into your story. If you want to be negative, you go be negative by yourself. But I think
Mhm.
loyalty is like respect. You gotta earn it. Um, I sometimes people are loyal to people that aren't loyal to them, and that's the problem. We on this kick
Mhm.
now. What can you do for me? Opposed to do for each other. Just like what I said, the the group, people getting together, be it to discuss nobody money, mixing my money with nobody. I don't trust nobody like that. But just a group of people to get together and about this stock. What do you think? Stock. Same thing with spirituality. People getting together and saying, let's do a meditation or let's do a prayer for peace or whatever it is you do. We
Mhm.
don't do those things. No, it's like it's that's
Mhm.
just gone. We like I said, like we said at the beginning of the show, we have to get back to nature. We have to get back to our bodies. Or you said something about Christ, or you said something about Jesus. Jesus, I said I'm Jesus. No, I'm Christ.
That's fact. That's
I have
fact.
a totally different aspect that we got to get back to that. And I've also got to the point now. If people find Jesus, I'm cool with that. I'm not saying that my way is the right way because that's what works for me. But if somebody want to believe in Jesus, I said if that's what brings you joy, I'm at a spot in my life where I expect that.
Uh-huh.
Because people will look at me and say, "Well, she thinks she's God. She's crazy." I don't want nobody to judge me like that. I don't judge people.
Right.
My mom said something to me one time. She said, "It's power in the words," and I was like, because I'm words are powerful.
Right.
Can't she say it's power in the word? If that's what gives her power. Remember that show Shazam or Shazam? Whenever he
Shazam.
says Shazam, he got powers.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I respect everybody. If they want to be Christian, okay, you be Christian. If
Right.
be Muslim, you be a good damn. I just want all of
Right.
us to be able to to come together and respect each other. What your religion is, I don't care what your belief system is. You know, if you
Yeah.
want to say damn alien, I'm gonna respect you.
Respect that
Okay,
too. Hey,
I
why
mean,
not?
what tribe, you know?
Exactly, exactly. I started out like you. I was well. I don't know if you started out in a Christian household. Did you start out in a Christian household like I did? Like my mother was a Christian, but doesn't say
Yep.
I'm a Christian, but my mother was. So we kind of a lot of us come from that same base. And I mean, I respect and understood what she was talking about, and I never like had a problem with what she was teaching. At that particular time when I turned about 19, I just felt like I needed more. Like I felt like I had a sample or a taste of some information, but there wasn't enough to fulfill the belly was still asking for more. And I went for many years in Islam, and I still respect and understand it. But then I went into energy and chakra balance, and then I was like, okay, I'm outside of these
Mm-hmm.
boxes of religion, and now I'm understanding what happened when I was 19 when it comes to the energy thing. When I was actually vividly witnessing this energy being moved about, and I couldn't explain it because all I had was limited knowledge about Christianity or Islam or more science. I didn't have that extra piece of, oh, there's this energy out here, this force to be reckoned with that you yourself are part of, and that you can have the ability, like metaphysically speaking, like the more science will teach you, that you can move. You can move things. You can affect things by your own being if you got yourself aligned. If you're aligned with the universe. If you've cleaned out your roots, if you've cleaned out your
Right.
eating, if you've cleaned out your 7 levels, like taking a shovel and digging all that crap out, whether it's up here or it's in your belly or it's in your reproductives and you're so always thinking about the next woman or all this other stuff. If you caught up in those levels, then before you even think about getting to that pineal gland, you got to deal with all that. And then once you get all that out the system, now you're up here. Now things is just going to be happening, but you're going to be able to witness it. You'll be able to say, I bet you XYZ about to go down and XYZ go down because you're so clairvoyant that you could actually see how it's going to go and how it's playing out and even be a facilitator or even a catalyst in the situation itself. And that's pure clarity. And so once you're in that zone, you good because I ain't worried about it there. I'm sitting here like, all right, cool.
And you know what's interesting though? Dr. Alim Day, I used to follow him years ago. I still follow him. He did a lecture about the 7 chakras, how was. I was like, wow, it blew me away. I heard that lecture. Got the Bible and I started reading. I was like, damn, you know. And I had this one girl, and she was saying, she was smart the Bible. I said, well, you know, the Bible is a book of spells. And she said, what do you mean? Well, if you ever need some money, say the Lord is my shepherd and I shall not want.
And then
What
go
does
in the
that mean?
opposite way.
It means that whatever you need, I'm gonna give you. But
Yeah,
people,
go in the opposite.
it's a book of for me allegories. You know,
Yeah,
people want to say, well, these one of the preachers that I still follow to this day is Reverend Ike. I love me some Reverend Ike. Let me tell you, Reverend Ike say you
yes,
can't
I have
lose with the
some
stuff I use. That goddamn car out there listening to Reverend Ike.
since the '70s.
Visualization, imagine myself. Look, a month later, I got that car.
Right,
I was like, thank you, Reverend Ike.
right.
But one thing I like about Reverend Ike is how Bible and he teaches you that you are the guard body, you know, and he teaches you that the prodigal son, when you were out there in the street and you were being stupid, you know, and then you decide to come back to your true self. So
Yeah.
there's some teachers that were out there and they were taking the Bible and they were teaching the physical level. But
Mm,
you
yeah.
know, Reverend
And
Ike,
sometimes
one
people
thing I
ain't
liked
ready
about
for
him,
that.
he was all about that money. He was all,
Mhm.
oh no,
He
no,
was really almost like he was like a
no.
comedian. He was like a comedian slash reverend slash hustler slash. I remember since the '70s, I used to watch him, listen to the stuff in the '70s. Everybody be talking
I
about Reverend
still
Knight
listen
said do
to him.
what Reverend Knight said do. Reverend Knight said do such and this. Reverend Knight said this. Yep. And look, the other side was Billy Graham. So the total opposite was like,
I never got into Billy Graham. I never
I
got
don't like
into
him
Billy
either.
Graham. I never
I don't
did.
like
I
Billy. I don't like Billy. I was talking about that I would see him like my mom would be watching on TV. And I would be like, so you got Reverend Ike on this channel, and then you got Billy Graham on this channel. They sound like this one is all said the Lord can heal ya. And then, and then Reverend Ike, like, this is what you do right here. Let me tell you what you're gonna do. What you're gonna do, you're gonna go down there, it sounds just like a dude from the corner. Yo, you go down there. Let me tell you what you're gonna do. I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We're going down the corner, right? We're gonna talk to my man over there. My man over there gonna hook us up. We're gonna go over there. We're gonna put the money over there, and then it's gonna manifest itself. Let's go. That's Ike. That's Ike. Yeah, man. I remember Ike. Matter of fact, they got him on YouTube.
But you know what? Day. I start my day every morning listening to one of his short videos.
Yeah.
You know, it gives me the inspiration that I need for that day. You know, because the news is gloom, gloom. They tell you this many people, this many. So I
Yeah.
choose to start my day with something on a positive note. Everything that he says is positive. I be a witness that you visualize yourself doing, it'll happen. It'll happen because I
Yeah.
sure got that kid soul out there. Reverend Ike said, "Do
Mm-hmm.
even that
Mm-hmm.
affirmations." You know, I get up every day on Facebook, and everybody that follow me on Facebook know the first thing I do in the morning is I put them affirmations up there,
Yeah.
and they're not for other me, but if they help other people, that's great. That's great.
Right, right. That's why I formed this group because I thought like even if you talking and having conversation like me and you kicking it, there's somebody out there listening, both good and bad. Some people want us to have a connection and want us to have
Right.
clarity, and then others want to distort the message, put some what they call that thing, white noise into the communication between two like-minded or positive people rising above the occasion. So I'm looking at this now. We go back on
Right.
this video and you see that it's been blacked out, it's been distorted, that's when you know that that communication was being white noise, distorted, distracted. Because we don't want these two.
Okay.
Yeah, they two building blocks. They don't want. We don't need them to get together. Let's mess this up. So once you already pass that, you understand when something don't go the way
Right.
it go, why it go that way because they already on that bullshit. So you just got to counterbalance it. Well, look,
Right.
you can't fool
Right.
me. I know what it is, and you continue to your life as it is because now all doors is open. As long as you got your nine openings open and you totally clear. And we talked about
Yep.
the numbers because now you could take the 360 degrees of knowledge, and no matter which way you turn, all the mathematics and the sciences come back to the same one universe. I
Coming
was
back.
learning about some mathematics where the numbers kept coming back to the number 3, 6, and 9, and I was going ahead and researching what's that all about. How you would add
Whoa.
certain numbers, it would come back to either the 3, the 6, or the 9. Like those are like
Three.
the base numbers for all
Yep.
numeration. You know what I mean? So, do we learn it in school? No, they want to keep you on Dada Street. Now, when you struggling with like algebra or something like that, if nobody don't teach you the basics building blocks, of course you're gonna stumble with math. Meanwhile, Hindi, Chinese, others have been given building blocks, have been given the secrets of mathematics and science and the whereabouts. But we go in there on Dada Street and they give you half of the knowledge and then wonder why you struggling because you ain't been given the full knowledge. Anybody gonna struggle if you haven't been given the full knowledge. And we already know that. So we're gonna keep you on some yearning, on some you yearning and earning a degree, when in fact the degree is within thyself. And you have to manifest that knowledge out to the public to say, I got
Right.
this. And then they grant you that honorary degree to say you know yourself. If the degree was so much with so much
Right.
validation, how come you can just get an honorary degree? Joe Schmo, who got $1 million, Lil Wayne, whoever else,
Exactly.
can get an honorary degree. So how much weight does it
They don't
hold?
have no degree.
If I go out here and be a master, if I'm a master of business administration, which I am, how you gonna tell me this piece of paper holds the power? I'm mastering the business right here in front of you. I'm manifesting it right here. You hand me that degree and say thank you very much and whatever, but that don't mean nothing to me because that's just a piece of paper. It's all about the manifestation, what you do. Well, your
Right.
actuality is really the reality. You ain't gonna have it. Do piece of paper. I got you. They got this whole rigged up this kind of system. You're supposed to be all dependent and defiant. I need your piece of paper. No, just like you said, if you're a medicine man, a medicine doctor, you already got the ability. Every medicine is in the natural earth. Every medicine comes from the earth. He just a go between. He's a middleman. In fact, he's in the way. You about to go out here to this plant and go grind it in the grinder and then put it over here and add it with some salt. Here he go. Oh, you need a prescription. And you know how idiotic it is. You go to the doctor, you go, my toe hurt, but this hurt, but that hurt. You done told him what's wrong. And he goes, you know what's wrong? Your toe hurt, your this hurt, your that hurt. You done told him, and then he tell you it's bad.
Exactly.
And then he give you a piece of paper called a bill. Then he give you a piece of paper called a bill and be like, here, take this, you dummy. Boom, knock you in the head and send you on your way. Now, when you acknowledge yourself like yourself, heal thyself, I self, Lord and Master, heal thyself. You know that you can go right out here. If you eat papaya,
Right.
papaya is one of the antibiotics, the papaya seed. Just don't eat too many. Garlic, eat some garlic, just not too much. It's certain things as a natural anesthetic. We can go levels and levels, all that stuff. If you go and do your research, you're gonna find out what the heck they put in the pills. Go to the daggone earth and get it. But he put a middleman, just like a piece of paper, just like money. It's a middleman. There's the actual what I need, and then you put something in the middle. And now you need me. You need me. I got to stay up in here. No, you don't need you. We need you to move out the way so we can go ahead and get it off the land.
Right.
That's what we need. So there was a group of people who bought 39, no, 80 acres in Atlanta area. A group that got together and said, let's buy our area and make it like a little city. Now, how often have you heard this? Jim Jones, right? Jim Jones, you familiar? Remember? You remember Jim
Not only
Jones?
him, Dr. York.
Yeah,
You
it's a
remember
lot.
Dr.
I was
York?
going to go down the list. Yeah, I was going to go down the list, but Dr. York, Jim
Okay.
Jones, and
Jim
whoever
Jones.
else,
Yeah, I
Koresh
remember
guy.
him. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but we could go out and have a situation if we really want to determine our destiny. This is why, in some sense, we could cause our own worst harm. If you said I'm sick and tired of being regulated, I'm sick and tired of government, buy enough land that you can have your own community, and the cops can't come in there and do nothing because this is your situation. This is your land. But you can't do a nation without a land, as everyone knows. A land. Why do you think that the Israeli thing was so important for them to have land? You can't have a nation without land because you're not governing the earth that's under your feet. Then you're not a landlord. You're going to have a landlord until you can have land. That's the only way that you can be a nation and you're not subject to a landlord, because that's a very deep term, a landlord. People don't know how deep that is. They're the lord of you. And until you have that land as a whole. So if say me and you and 10 other people say, you know what? Just like those people in Georgia, we're going to buy 80 acres. Now within that 80 acres circumference, that's our governance. However we set up shop. So I'm not saying it's going to happen in America, but I do say as a whole, the basis for any real self-governance is land. And Oprah would say it in a more revenue way. Ain't buy some land, they ain't making no more. That's cool, that's true. But at the end of the day, if you're talking about self-governance, now we ain't talking about self-governance. Yeah, you don't need land, whatever. Land within America is still limited because they still got the taxing ability. They still come back at you. They be like, "Oh, I'm gonna
Hmm.
tax you. Oh, I'm gonna take it this way. Oh, I'm gonna put the taxes up so high that you can't afford it." They do that. And you know what some people would do? Now, here's where the nationality of the Moors and all that stuff, where I didn't know at the time. I actually had my paperwork at that time, and my father threw it away, not really knowing what it was when I left the home. But that little what it was A241 to some numbers, and it just was identifying your tax status as being non-tax. And I didn't really know nothing about it. I was too young. I was 19, but I got the feds, I got all this other stuff. I had no freaking clue what these guys were talking about. But it sounded good at the time. Now I understand it. Then I didn't. So the tax thing, with my situation, I don't have any tax on anything. And that's because of my status as a veteran, my 100% whatever. But there's countries that don't tax on land.
Right.
So
There's cities
if
that
you
don't tax. Florida.
okay, no, I'm talking about real estate tax. I'm talking about real estate tax.
Florida, you're a veteran, you pay real estate tax.
Right, I
They
don't
don't
pay
tax
tax in South
veterans in
Carolina.
Florida.
They ain't taxing me here in South
Yeah,
Carolina.
because you
I don't
100%.
pay tax. I'm
Shit,
living here in
they
Myrtle
look,
Beach
they
area.
tax the hell out. Oh, okay.
When when
North
you
Carolina
in North
tax the hell.
Carolina, right? Wait, I couldn't even hear you. Say it again.
Yeah, you know I'm in North Carolina.
Yeah, exactly.
Say North
And I
Carolina
was
tax.
exactly. I was getting taxed in they was not taxing the first 65,000 on my house I had over there. And my house, I think I bought for like 163. And so I was getting hit in the head, not even knowing I could have went to Fort Mill. I could have just moved to Fort Mill or Lake Wiley, and I would have had tax free. Because I'm 100% total permanent, so that means I'm zip on. I don't even have to register my plates anymore. My plates is permanent, so I don't have no sales tax on food, no tax on this and that. But with my Morris status, it would have been a lot of the same thing. But if I set it up that way, it's the same thing. So even within that constraints of taxation, there's a way that we can handle business that we can just do. If you had a whole bunch of Moors, a whole bunch of 100% total per immigrants who we get, you still can get around it, right? So it'd be a matter of linking up and building it the way we need to build it. I'm done. I'm not even thinking about this as an America thing. I'm thinking about it like, I don't care, Kenya, all these other countries that be having massive amounts of land, and it's so cheap. It's not funny. But of course, the thing is, the infrastructure sucks. So now you got to think: do I want infrastructure? I could have it. Do I have some builders come over and build it? You know what I mean? So I think nothing's impossible. I guess that's my
Right
point. Yeah, you could stay here too. You can have the same thing here, but they don't. When I heard
See,
that
I
the
think,
go ahead, your turn. Go ahead.
when you learn that you create reality, that life changes. Because I hear a lot of people say I'm on lockdown. I ain't never been locked down. North Carolina been on lockdown. I ain't never been do what I want when I want. Ain't see they might be able to knock that physical body down, but they could never lock down your mind. And once you learn that this is the most powerful thing you have, nobody could ever lock you down. But people don't know that. They scared. It's about martial law. I'm like, when they put lockdown, that was martial law. Stop. You already in a martial law state of
Right.
status. But
Exactly.
they're like, well, they talk about martial law. What the hell you think lockdown is?
Martial law. That's what it is. It's martial law to the nth degree. To the nth degree. And I'm glad you used that word because that's what we used to talk about too in the temple. We was talking about martial law and now all the crazy stuff. It was sounding so crazy back in '87 when I first declared nationality. I was like, y'all are crazy. Like y'all saying stuff that ain't never gonna come to pass. And sure enough, everything they was talking about come to pass. Even that ID, even that national ID. They said you gonna come a time you're gonna have to identify yourself. Now your driver's license is a national ID. A national ID. So no more states ID. Now it's national ID. So I'm like, wow, this is something, man. This is really something. I'm not mad at the fact that I learned everything I need to learn. And so now, like looking at today's times, I ain't even, I don't even like blink an eye. I was like, oh, I heard about this was gonna happen. I just was like, really, it really did happen too. How you feeling about
Right.
the whole speaking of the lockdown, how you feeling about it as far as um like you said, you talked about the restriction on the perceived restriction on the person. My head is what's happening to the psychology of the children, what's happening to the psychology of their minds, what's going through their head during this whole phase. How they gonna come out of it better, worse, or whatever. Because whether you got your kids that went to school and now they say, oh no, you're back to virtual, or you're half in, half out, or your schooling ain't got no Wi-Fi at your house, and all this other stuff. What you think about what's gonna happen with these kids? What's your opinion on that?
Actually, this is psycho warfare, and the parents are going to have to take control. I hate seeing these kids in masks. I really do. I don't like seeing that. I don't like seeing anybody in a mask. But putting these kids in masks, it's messing with them psychologically. And if you're not doing things to teach your kids what's really going on, they're going to be messed up in the head. They really are. I'm just glad I don't have kids. I got the teenage boys. They cool with the mask. They don't have a problem with wearing a mask. It's not affecting them. They're not, they're good. They're good. Me, I'm not wearing no damn mask. I put that shield on. I'm just not doing it. That you have to keep your mind strong. If you keep telling yourself that they can't lock down my mind, that I read this book of this guy that was on death row, and he said they locked my body down, but they never locked my mind down. And I didn't understand what he was saying. COVID hit. Then it understand what he was saying because
Mhm.
I been on lockdown. Might have locked this physical body down. Well, I was essential personnel, so I wasn't even on lockdown then. But my mind is
Yeah.
always free. You know, if I want to close my eyes and say I'm in California, I have the ability to do that. Now I know that's gonna be over a couple of people's head and it's like, yeah, she's smoking some good shit. But that's
Nah.
power of your mind, you know. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
nobody could lock you down. They can't physically lock you down. I mean, you have the power to do whatever you want to do, be whatever you want to be, and go where you want to go. It's part of your imagination and how powerful your imagination is. Or if you want to go even deeper than that, alternative realities. You know, here it's like when I first saw the in another dimension, it freaked me the hell out. Like, hold up, who the hell are you? You know,
Yeah.
you are me,
Showing up.
but
Yeah.
you're in a different reality where Shay is still, you know. So I
Yeah.
have to remind myself, okay, which reality am I in right now? You know, and I think that's a lot of people that they say have mental problems. I don't necessarily think they have mental problems. I just think that they're dwelling on multiple dimensions and they can't handle it. Well, you know, because we went through a
Yeah.
Shay. But
Yeah. Exactly. She was on the
okay.
she was on the
So
breakthrough.
you
Yeah.
have to exactly. And that's where we got control of. You it's going back to
Yeah.
what we talked about first. You got to get
Mhm.
to know who you are and I like Twitter because Twitter is political. I love politics. And everybody
Yeah.
was talking about, oh, this download is coming. We're gonna get these superpowers. And I'm sitting there like, y'all are interesting. You know, you
Right.
already had the superpowers. You don't need for some planets to line up for you to come in power
Right.
of who you are. You don't need for planets up to say that you're getting a download. You know, people be like astrology. I'm like, every
Right.
sign in Pisces is your feet and Aries is your head. So you have every damn sign. They
Yeah.
be like, well, I was born in March, so I'm a
Mhm.
Pisces. Which calendar are you using? Because technically speaking, we're in 2012 now. But we ain't there, we ain't
Right.
going there, we ain't going there. So, you know, you
Yeah.
come
They
back
said that
to
everything
taking
stopped back
control
then.
of who
Yeah.
right. Right. Well, we're on the Mayan calendar. It just depends on
Right.
what thought because I follow so many people. You know, it'd be like listen to this person, I'd be like, oh, that's an interesting thought process. And then now listen to this
Mhm.
person, oh, that's an interesting thought process. And then I formulate my own opinion. You know,
Right.
I'm not one because say something, I'm gonna jump on that bandwagon. I'm not
Mhm.
feeling that. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. We have our own.
I'm not. Today, I was on Facebook. Right. You know, you what's right for you. You know, like you were saying medicine. Well, see, I don't even do meds because vibrations. I heal with vibrations. If I got pain in my foot, you could go on YouTube and put foot pain, the hurts that you need to listen to so that you can heal your foot. Or if you want to get deeper than that, just tell your foot, like my back. I don't know what I did to my back the other day. So last night I was like, yo, back. Oh, wait. But you get the hell up out of Dodge. I got too much shit to do tomorrow for you to be hurting. You know, within 15 minutes, that pain was gone.
Mhm.
Are the most powerful thing you have. And when you
Mhm.
master life, master life, it's simple. It's so simple, but we make it so hard. We make it
Yeah. It's just like when I was thinking about what you were saying about the the pain in the foot. You know, you could I'm trying to think of how it happened to me. Something about that pain in the foot because I've had some pain like my neck and different things like that. And I don't know if you go like I said, once you feel energy, just like what they do with when they give you a massage. Once you're able to like channel that energy, you can like see it out, literally see your way out, if you will, of that energy. Push it out whether it's on a muscle here or something there. Once you have your mind channeled into that, you can push it right on out of you. And that's kind of what I think about when you said that. It's like you gotta
VA teach
be,
them?
huh? Say
Did
again?
you know VA teachers, they was integrated medicine and they teach you
Nah.
pain management through meditation?
When did
Yeah.
they
Oh
start
yeah.
that?
I'm on the medicine side of the house with VA.
No, when did they
I've been in this
start?
program for almost a year. And about a year ago, because I was the first people in, and they
Oh,
do
okay.
nothing with meds, no meds. It is all meditation. They do
Right.
Reiki. They teach you color healing. They teach you music. They do
Mhm.
acupuncture. I'm like, nope, we ain't doing. I don't like being stuck. These tattoos. I said it's different. I wanted the tattoos. You sticking a needle? No, I didn't like that. But they do a
They
lot
like
of
that.
alternative therapies now. It's called integrated
Oh, they
medicine.
got the message. That's good to know they finally got the message, right? I mean, it's never too late to get the message. You know, I mean, you
About
say they just starting it.
no,
Is it about damn time?
no, they don't.
Uh,
It's been around for almost a
yeah, because
year
I
now. A
didn't.
lot of the veterans, the ones that are
No, I
some of
said
the ones that are
it's
in the
been
program, it
because
works
I
for.
could, yeah. So
I'm gonna let you
we're
talk. Go
having
ahead.
delayed time, so that's why it makes. Yeah, and I was gonna say
Okay.
it's delayed, so that's what's happening right now with the audio. You remember I said I gets delayed, but
Okay.
like you said, if it's only been a year since they've been doing it, but that's not a long time because you're talking about how long they've been around. You know what I mean? So I'm glad to know that they're doing it though, because I'm quite sure a lot of people have been wanting to have something as an alternative to to medicine. I'm not even a fan of like medications at all either. I'm definitely not a fan of medications. I'm the kind of be like, if, at all costs, don't need meds. If it's a dire situation or I definitely have no alternatives, I'll go with meds. But other than that,
Exactly.
been there, done that. And that's the thing. I had, like I said, I've been through that when Shay was going through that door. I've been through that hospital situation the same way. That's why I was really right there with her because I understood what she was trying to break through and understood what she was
Right.
going through because I had been through it twice. That's why I told you I've been through it twice. And then the third time it wasn't that situation of a hospital, but I was actually out in the regular street and then I smoked some and then some boom. I understand it now. Now I get what they were talking about. Now it's clear. So I had no more fear. And as she was getting an
Right.
understanding of the neuroscience and other things, it was a breakthrough point. So, like, once you start making that breakthrough, then they try to pull you back. They pull you back in the hospital, they
Right.
med you up, they confuse you, and then before you know, you're back on Google Street. Think of the word Google. Google, Google. Think of how that word sounds. Google. Confusing. Google.
Good.
Mm. Hmm.
That's true.
So, yeah.
That is true.
Anyway, it's been real. I'm not sure. We could probably go on forever. We'll be going into the nighttime 3 or 4 hours later, but I'm enjoying the conversation. I don't know if you are, but hey, I'm locked up. You locked up,
It was
so to speak. Huh?
like that. I ain't locked up.
I know
Yeah, we
I ain't locked up
could,
either. I'm just joking.
anytime you want to let me know. Normally,
Okay,
I
yeah.
have a client Wednesdays and Fridays till 7 o'clock. After that, I'm free.
Okay,
I
I would do that.
finally look. I finally felt safe to let Target go because I was holding on to Target. When I'm out, I let Target. So I finally let that Target go, and I'm free
Yeah.
now. I'm free.
Okay. Hey, look, when you said that, it made me think about how they be like when they want to fire you. They be like, "We're gonna have to let you go." Let you go. Like so, basically, you're being held like a hostage. You're being held like a hostage. We're gonna have to let you go. Wow, really?
Yeah.
Thanks. Thanks for
Well, see,
not
they didn't
holding
let
me
me go. I
anymore.
let myself.
You let them go. You said, look, you probably said, I'm gonna have to let y'all go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
No, I told him.
it's always a.
I said, you know what? I'm out of here because I'm somebody. Anytime
Oh
somebody
my
start
God.
messing with my peace, I got to bounce. I got to
Oh,
bounce.
it got serious. It got serious like that. Some people start acting a
Oh
fool.
yeah, yeah. See, they had a little young girl. They had a young girl that was ass whooped. She took me
Mm,
out perfect spot. I'm like, look,
mm,
look.
mm,
I think for a minute.
mm. You know, that's the problem with these some of these youngins. They be forgetting we came from the city of whip ass. I come
Nope.
from the city of whip ass. I will whip your ass. I will whip your ass. Yes, I will. No, I don't need a gun. Give me them
Exactly.
give me them hands. Give me them hands.
Right.
So yeah, that's the
Right.
thing.
They
That's another
don't
thing
never
about the different
hands no more. Your
generation.
hand they
I've seen, here's some funniness. I've seen young people out here trying to get their scrapper on YouTube. They not holding their hands right. They not doing. I'm like, you don't even need to be putting on fake fights. This dude all he doing some old weirdness. I'm like, dude, you don't even know how to hold your hands. You know what? You know you ain't never been in a real street fight. You can tell. Look at you. Look at you. You know, I'm from
wow.
Milan, Brooklyn. We fight every day. We fighting every day. We going in the bathroom. We fighting. We on the courts. We fighting. We fighting over a call. Somebody hack. We knuckling up. So
Wow.
you from a land where I run, I gotta go get the gun. I run, I can, yeah, I got a gun. Yeah, I can use a gun, but guess what? If I ain't got no gun, I got these guns right here, and they
Right.
do just fine.
Right.
You know, this called Smith. This here is Smith, and this is Wesson. Meet Smith and Wesson, and
I
they do
know, right?
just fine. So yeah. But yeah, it was a delight talking to you, and we'll definitely have to catch up some more. And you know, even off this camera thing, you know, we can reach out to one another and make it do what it do.
Okay.
All right. So
All
this is my
right. I'm gonna
guest
definitely
queen.
get with you on that. I want to get with
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
get with you on option trading.
Okay. So you want to know a little bit more about it? No problem. Be more than happy to give some insight. As I said, I haven't even done a class on the that would be cool because maybe you might even come with me on that class. I mean, you could talk to me in general. It ain't got to be like the class, but I'm just saying. I haven't done a class yet on that. I was
Okay.
just showing people my trades. When you go to the Facebook, go to PHATKAT Capital, and I haven't posted trades in a while. I've been so busy running this network and building this network and putting it, attaching it to Roku and attaching it to um, Apple, an Apple app and the Android through Google Play. So I've been busy on that. But you can see some of my old trades. But either way, I'll say
Okay.
maybe when I do that segment, you also, if you want to get involved with that. But in the meanwhile, just hit me up. It don't even matter. You can
Okay.
just call me. We can just kick it on it. Because I mean, I'm quite sure if you
Okay.
want to get some trades in tomorrow, you ain't be like, hey, I gotta wait for the class, wait for it to show up then. You know what I mean? But it is a lot intensive. So let me forewarn you. If you think you got
Zoom.
confusion with a spreadsheet, then guess what? No, you can understand it because you already trade. But I mean, it's not. It's not.
Now I know how
It's
to read charts.
yeah.
I can learn to do option trading.
Yeah, options is
Okay.
a derivative. They call it derivative. So we'll get up with it. All right, so it's 6:38. We
Okay.
could have went to seven, make it nice and the seven. You want to go to the seven? You good with it?
That's fine.
The seventh letter. Yeah, the seventh letter made. G is the seventh letter made. You know my man who said Rakim? I think
Okay.
Rakim says G is the seventh letter made, or somebody says it. Speaking of that, let's talk about certain hip hop artists who be dropping knowledge. Rakim. Listen to some of his songs, not every one of them, but he talked about the third eye make me shine like jewelry. And that was back in the 80s. I forgot the name of that song. It's called
Oh.
Follow the Leader. One of the lyrics, and listen to
Oh
different
yeah, I
lyrics of hip
remember that
hop
one.
artists. You know KRS-One been dropping science. Now he coming back drop. He said, look, I told y'all. I
Hmm.
told y'all. Now y'all listening. Rakim dropping science. And I'll be listening to the lyrics. I'll rewind. What did he just say? Like when he said the third eye nigga shine like jewelry. I was like, what? Hmm. So then I would go back and listen. And so what's your take on that? Like, you know, the hip hop artists dropping science. Do you know some artists you like to vibe on? Not just some fun loving, you know, shake your booty and all that, like on some knowledge. What's on what you feel on that?
Really listen to rap anymore. I mean, Shay's old music. I used to like Nas, but I find now that most of the artists, and once they start getting political, I'm not with it. You know, you rap and stop doing the bullshit. So I really don't. I mean, I like Janelle Monáe. She came out and made a comment that she made, so I don't listen to her no more. I still
What did she
listen to
say?
any of the artists. I don't.
What did she say? What did she
Uh,
say?
that a
Oh, was it really bad?
she said a certain
Huh?
group of people kill themselves. So she
Wait.
said a certain group of people need to go kill this. I was
Wow.
like, you know, keep
Wow.
politics. That
Wow.
I stopped listening to her. You know, it
Right. Right.
people
I mean,
you
what group, if
if
I
you
can
are an
ask?
artist, she was talking about Trump supporters. She said all Trump supporters need to go kill
Oh,
themselves.
yeah. Wow. I
So,
mean, I don't see
and
the
I didn't feel
point of
it was
that.
appropriate.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she ain't the only one.
I don't
A
feel the need to
lot
go.
of them, a lot of. So
Yeah.
that's when they start getting politics. That's when I.
Yeah. I think that in energy you need a plus and minus in energy. Period. In order for energy to flow, the ultimate force of the universe is a individual force, but without any kind of a catalyst, it sits
Right,
still. It's non-movable. It's not. It's still. So you need a catalyst or a
right,
negative to push it. So without somebody over there hating, somebody over there being negative or doing some more craziness, we're not gonna have this move forward. So I welcome the counterbalance because I need that. I like to thank the haters. No, I like to thank the energy that makes this universe move. And I don't call them haters because that's not even my thought. I'm saying energies. I'm talking about if we have no energy, then you're dead because like the force is not moving. So you got to have something, a catalyst to move it. Just like the laws of physics. There's like four laws of physics. You
right.
familiar with it? So I don't
Mhm.
get political. I just like, and I don't even look at, again, I'm not looking at a human being or a Republican or any of that down here. I'm saying above it all is force. We all are in a force field, if you will. And if I get caught and trapped down here in like all these other layers of isms and all that, I can't see the bigger picture. So then I get my mind locked down in that. I'm not really even gonna be like focusing on what I gotta do. I can get distracted. Oh,
Right.
one can
That's why
get
I don't listen
distracted.
to
Not
it.
that
I
I
don't
would get
even listen
distracted.
to it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
but I don't even
yeah.
listen to it. Still in the mornings, I still listen to Shay. I got Shay. Most of the music,
Hmm.
90% of the music that's in my phone is Shay's music. And all
Okay,
these other artists, did you hear this song? I'm like, no. This song,
right.
the vibe day is not the same. The hurts of the music is not the same. I mean, I'm to a point now, if the frequency of that music is not where I feel it should be, I shut it
Right.
out. I hear it, nope, don't want to hear it.
Hmm.
So that's just where I'm at.
Yeah.
It's like my ears and
How are
got
you
so
able to distinguish it
sensitive,
though?
so they
I
be
need that.
like, what are you listening to? So
How do you get the information though on how to? I mean, I know about the frequencies. When I go to YouTube, it'll say like for orange chakra, you can have frequency of whatever number, and I can hear that. But when you're listening to music, how do you know how much frequency is in that individual music? That I do not. I have no knowledge of how to know what's in a Rakim song, the love of frequency in that song. How can I determine that? That's why I don't know.
it's
No, you're
it's
just
like
saying the
once you
vibe wise. You're just
start
saying energy wise.
like the
Hmm.
no the bowl.
Yeah,
You
woo,
ever heard somebody that takes the bowls and they
and it hums. Yeah, they
want
rub it around.
somebody that really knows bowl frequency, then go to with music, you can key that wow there. Now me, I can't make it. I don't try. I can't make it sing. But I
Right.
have had other people make it sing and they would be like, okay, this is the frequency now. And I just start kind of humming with that frequency. So on the YouTube, if it said it was a 432, I could put it to match their version of 432, and it would have been close. But like when you listen to the love frequency, you should feel when you listen to that frequency. If you're truly listening to that, you just feel a sense of calm, a sense of peace. Like you be like, why am I feeling like that? It's because of the
Mm-hmm.
frequency of the music. But then again, if you really get still back to your thoughts, because you could listen to and say that it's the frequency of heal you. So it goes back to your thoughts. But for people that's level, um, they got this one program. I'm gonna have to find it. Actually, this guy that he put a bunch of frequencies, and you could listen to those whole tones. That's what it is, whole tones. And once you start listening 432, I mean, they got people that actually testify and say they had cancer and they listened to it and the kid was healed and all this good stuff. So once you get used to hearing 432, when you're listening to other music, you're able to distinguish that 432 hertz. It's
Okay.
a process though.
Okay. And you know what's so funny? When I was thinking about sometime when I have when you said that you can use like um, like tune in. Sometimes when it's perfect pitch, I can hear it going straight through my ear, and I can hear it like as if something went straight through. And when it's not really where it needs to be, it'd be kind of blocked. I might hear it in this ear, but it doesn't go straight through. I can hear it like through. And I don't know if I'm explaining that correctly, but there's a time where I do hear music and I hear it so clear that it's like as if it's going straight like this like, and then there's times where it's blocked, and I might hear it here and hear it here. I'm hearing them like this, but there's times where I hear it like this, like as if it was like right through. Hard to explain. I wish I can have a video or something that kind of really gets into detail to how it goes, but I know the
I
difference
know what
between
you're saying.
how
I know
you know,
what you're saying.
yeah, how I hear things. So I'm big on smell. Now, what's your take on the connection between human and animal when it comes to our they call it like our like animal or a like kind. Like I feel like I have a high level of nose, like a wolf. I can smell stuff in extreme levels that a lot of people don't smell. Like we'll be around somebody or in some situation, and like you know how the wind can blow back and be like, oh, there's deers over there, because I can smell that they have that mating, that dripping that comes from them. And but some I'll be driving in the car and or something like that, and my family members will be like, really? Or I can smell something. So I always think my kindred animal is like a wolf because I can kind of smell so deep. I can say a dog, but he's below the wolf. So I'm talking about the alpha. So do you have any understanding or opinion or about that connection? Is there any connection in your as
It
far
could
as you're
be
concerned?
it could be memories of your Akashic record that you remember at one time you were a wolf. Because I remember being a cat. It's like when I go around cats, like bow down, like they bow down to me. And when I first saw it, it freaked me out. I was like, what's up with these damn cats? All of them would just stop and kind of sort of like do this. Am I tripping? And then I asked my grandson, I said, watch this. So we walked by the cat and the cat just stopped and just went like that. He was like, damn, if I hadn't saw it, I would think he was crazy. So I think we
Mm-hmm.
remember those past lives because a lot of people think that when you shed this physical body, it but energy. So we have past lives, and some people call it Akashic records. So it's remember that period of time and still have that ability from when you were a wolf, a fox, or whatever. Because like I said, I remember being a cat. I even remember being a damn tree, and I used to get mad when the dogs used to piss on me. But a lot of people can't tap in to those Akashic records. So that's what that is. Or
Mm-hmm.
you it's just because we all have certain things that we can do.
Yeah, and when you
But
said
I
about
I, I really think it's remembering
you
a
had that
past
thing,
life.
I think so too. Because I always feel like it's a lot stronger. My notion is a lot stronger than anybody else. And no matter where it is or whatever, I'm smelling stuff people are saying they don't smell. And I'm like, why? Why did they not smell it? And then we're in the same distance and location, and I can clearly smell it, and you telling me you don't smell anything. So I don't know, but yeah, maybe that's it. When you said energy can never be destroyed, which was one of the four laws of physics, the energy can never be destroyed. It's just transferring. That's when we talk, and because that me and like I said, me and
Right.
Shay had those deep conversations. We would be talking for hours about this kind of stuff. So how you transition when we talk about transition, those who know that we're just coming from this energy, staying within this energy, and just because we're taking the body or the flesh off, the energy is still remaining here in the earth. And so people have
Right.
fear about going to the other side, not knowing how great it could be or not, just what you've been told by somebody who ain't never came back to tell you. This is the craziest thing. Now, that's when I start getting into the thought of people saying, they start saying, have faith and all this other stuff, but nobody can factually tell you what's on the other side. So anything you believe in or hearing, there's no factual information that you're basing it on.
but
Not
but
talking
you know
about
what?
religion.
Some people,
I know
some
people that say
people
they died and
can
came back.
though. I mean, e- ever since I was little, been able to communicate with those who have storm, and it
Mm,
used to freak me out, especially when I was working in the hospital and somebody would pass. In the movie Ghost, how he would say stuff. So these energies say this to my wife, and I'm like, I'm not saying that to her. He said, just say it, and she'll know that you're telling the truth. Nobody knows this but me. And when I would say
right.
it, the look on the person's face, that like, so you really do speak to people on up with boxes. A lot of the boxes that I'm into energies, their grandmothers and their kids or fathers start coming through and stuff in these boxes, and they're looking at me like, how did you know to put that in there? My grandmother liked that. So that's an ability I have always had. Now it's been nice where I would lay down and Shay say, Mom, go to bed. I'm gonna come get you. And I was like, what you mean you will come? And she was like, chill,
Mhm,
chill. And I mean, I would go to sleep and I would physically, my body land on the bed, and the other
mhm.
me would go play. I mean, I was
Yeah.
Michael
Mhm.
concerts in the other realm, Chris
Right.
concert.
Right.
I've been able to come back. It's the same
Yep.
there as it is over here. You
Yep.
know, it's no different. It's an alternative reality. Is I choose to come back. They don't
Hmm.
want to. I've been in a place
Yeah.
where you can say, I want a house, and you snap your finger and you manifestly. But we have been so dumbed down to where we can't do that here in this CD realm, But once you're able
Right.
to go to even though people say the fourth realm is the crazy realm, and they say the fifth realm, I don't know.
Hmm.
I know sometimes you get stuck in that fourth realm, but the different realms that you go to, you have an ability, and everybody. But I talked to this one lady, she said, if you was to say you was schizo,
Hmm.
whatever, they can say what the hell they want to
Right.
say. But I've had this
Right.
ability since I was a little teeny girl.
Yeah. The whole medical
And
fields
everybody, it's
mastermind a way of thinking about what we talking about is to give it a label that scares people away from the truth. That's a surefire way to derail someone. If I tell you it's bad, or I tell you you're going to be looked at in some type of way, or we don't have a diagnosis, so we got to. It's some way to keep you from going and knowing the truth. So that whole concept of how the medical field
mhm,
handles it, and this is another thing I learned from being in those hospitals, talking with other people who had had these experiences, that a lot of people come in with the same story. They had these spiritual awakening, and this, that, and the third could have happened. We don't understand what's happening. And then they say, here's a label, schizophrenia. Here's a label, bipolar.
Right.
Here's another label. Boom. And now let's
Because they
fix
would
you. We
tell,
got some
oh, he's
medication. We'll
schizo.
pump you with this, and then we'll go take you back down to dum
Right.
dum land where you ain't at your higher level. Now you're in functionable. They say now you're functionable, so they push you back down. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen. This was
Exactly.
Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck. He was trying to get the genie. Bugs Bunny. There was a genie coming out of the bottle, and they didn't want to come down out of the bottle. And so Daffy Duck was like, down, 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 mine, mine, mine. He would pounce on his head, trying to push him back in to the bottle. So them pushing you back down into a less conscious
I
state,
remember that.
so you're functional, huh?
Right.
So that's what the attempt
I
is.
said, right. I remember that.
That's what the attempt is, to try to put you back in a
They
functional state. Yeah, but truly, it's almost like once the genie's out the bottle, it's out the bottle, right? So you're still gonna have that
right.
consciousness about yourself, even if they shift you left or shift you right. There's always something that's gonna be like tapping you. Hey, remember? You remember? So what's happening a lot with us too? I think a lot of us are becoming more
Let me
awake.
ask you a question.
What's that?
So, what do you think about UFOs? UFOs?
Yeah, from the perspective of that, there's probably other life force out there that can travel within our dimension, and however they go about, doing it, if it's a salsa plane or whatever else.
So you
No, I've never had the experience of seeing
so
any
can you
any.
see
Can I see UFO? I don't.
you
I
have
can't.
it?
I can't bear witness to the fact because I haven't done it. So I have to bear witness to what I have fact
Oh.
on. So I can't bear witness that I've seen a UFO. But you asked me about my belief system. I do believe there is other life that's outside of what we just have here. And I just like we can take a car, why can't they have their own mode of transportation and come within our dimension? We're surely going within their dimension by going into a rocket spaceship and all these other places. So why would we be the only ones that be able to break through the stratosphere and go in a place we ain't supposed to be? Except that maybe it's a possibility they can do the same exact thing. So leaving that possibility out there, I'll say yes, no different from how we over here. They probably over that side saying, "You think there's life force out there,
No,
right?"
they know probably. Let me tell you a story real quick. We got time.
Yeah.
I was um I was in a store and I just this crazy energy. I was like, what the hell?
Mhm.
So I turned around and I saw faceless things. It was three of them. So they said
Mhm.
she could see us. And they said, what do you mean she could see us? And they said she could see us. And I'm looking like,
Mhm.
yeah, I can't see the real. Don't fuck with me, and I won't mess with y'all. I'm gonna take my little butt out the store. So
Mhm.
I went and told another friend, and I said, the face people that I see in my dreams, they're
Mhm.
here. And he said, because
Mhm.
I've been telling him about it for a while. He said, what do you mean? I said, they are and they're here. He said, as in here, ear. And people that say they saw him, but they're faceless. Just
Mhm. No face, no form. There's no face or
and
form.
I don't drink a no,
Right.
no
So this wasn't a
faceless.
trip. You wasn't tripping, as they say. You wasn't tripping.
No,
Um,
I don't drink.
I
No,
had I had a
no, not at all.
hallucination type
No.
event when it was like, I mean, again, I love the terms and that when you talked about the Mayan calendar. No, it's something you say that it's just like comes across my mind. I'm like, hey, wait, thinking back. So my thought on calendars and times and watches and all that, they're just little mechanisms that we use to try to keep up. There's only daylight and nightlight. This is
Right.
2000,
I'm
2012.
not.
Is this
Right.
that piece of calendar is just a piece of paper for them
Right.
to keep the freak up with what's going on. And then you got to watch. Oh, we got to be here at this time. Oh, why? Because the watch said so. The watch telling you when you're supposed to be somewhere. The watch telling you, the calendar's telling you what you gotta go do. So now you
Right.
get these things that literally tell you what to do, when to do. Telling you supposed to be, oh, this is breakfast. So now the watch telling me I need to go eat some food at this time of the day. Look, I'm eating food when I want to eat food, if I feel like I want to eat food at that time of the day, not according to what's on that clock
Exactly.
or the calendar, and all these little weird little mechanisms, we done got trapped in it so wickedly. We don't even realize how much we trapped, and it's like a mouse in the inside of a maze. We don't even realize how much
Physically.
we're. It's ridiculous. Like, come on, wake up, dude. It's day and nighttime. Daytime, nighttime. That's the time. You ask me what time it is? Daytime. What time is it? Nighttime. That's what time it
Night.
is. It's nighttime. That's what time it is. You know. And then when you said about the forces thing, that's interesting because like you said about the jumping at the body, that happened when I was like 19, and I got out, I looked at my body laying down in the bed, like I had renewed myself, like that was like the other person, and then all of a sudden I had this spiritual consciousness
Hmm.
from that point going forward. And like when I started sharing it with other people like mine, I was like, oh, you know what, that happened to me. Like call it astral plane, and too. Sometimes you flying, like you say, you be flying all over the place, and then you fall back in your body. Yeah, astral plane. How can this be coincidental? If so many people experiencing this, you're gonna tell me that everybody just happened to have the same thing going on? It got to be some realness to that. It got to be some reality to that. There's no way
It
everybody
is.
can be having the same kind of experiences. We just ain't, like I said,
Right.
we might be tapped in, but then the other people, if you get 99% of the people, think about how influence works. If you get 99% of the people say the sun is yellow, there's a chance that the other 2% might go, that is yellow. That's how this is in this world. We're the 2%.
Right.
No, it's hard to convince them. It's like the 5%ers, and let me tell you what, you know about 5%. Why are they the 5%ers? They're the conscious one.
I used to be
They're the
one.
God body. And they trying to piece the 85%, the unconscious one. And that's what this is all about. The 85, and there's the 5, and the 10%. The ones who got the moolah, the ones who control the 80, 85s, the masters with the
Right.
strings, the puppet masters. And you know, so when
Right.
you out in the street and they talk in street language, you see them as bad people. Some of them can interpret what
Right.
God body means. Some of them got a little twisted, but they got the science, they got the mathematics, they got the knowledge. Because you could take this 360 degree and go no matter what you go into, whether it be Islam, Christianity, God body, Islam 5%. The knowledge is still the same. How you interpret it is up to you. 360 degrees of knowledge. I can talk about math, be talking about, and
Right.
relate back to something we talking about. Talking about milk. Let me tell you how that relate back to what we talking about. That's when you had that firm understanding of 360 degrees of knowledge. You know, then you raise the fist and you be like, oh yeah, that's a circle. Right there's a circle right there. 360 degrees.
Never
So
ending.
I don't know. We're gonna be waiting we're gonna be waiting for a while to get everybody on board. But meanwhile, they say back to your regularly scheduled program. I ain't really trying to unprogram you. I'm gonna
Programming.
speak my mind. You can, yeah. Right back. I'm not gonna try to unprogram you. I'm gonna share what I got here on like for example, what we're doing. We ain't here to convince nobody. We just share what we got. If you want to latch on and get some, come on get some. I mean,
Right.
I ain't sitting here going, God says you've
Exactly.
got to take your life into this direction because if you want to have the righteousness of God, to sit. No. Mm-mm. You're not going to hear me saying that. I'm going to be like, do you, boo? I do me, you do you. I'm just showing you what I do. And if it's working, you know what the best example of people wanting to rock with me? Just see what if I'm not if it's working, then you asking me what's my secret. Then I'm gonna be like, yeah, whatever. But I'm not sitting here gonna be like, God said, I'm here to tell you. No, I ain't here to tell you none. I'm just
Right.
here to live my life. And I'm gonna speak on what I speak on. You want to gravitate towards it, then do you, boo. Do you. But that's
I
all it
agree.
is. And it's very simple. It is very that's like you're doing. You're just sharing the information. Those who want to gravitate, do so. Those who feel like they want to, you know, go in another direction, do you, boo. No problem. I know it works for me.
Right.
So
Right.
I know it works for me. Yeah, but yeah, so we wrapping it up. We on 704. 704, that's the
All
area code.
right. All right.
Oh, you going back to Havelock? I know it's 704.
Eventually,
You
yeah,
trying
I'm
to go
going back
back
to
to you
Havelock.
trying to go back to Havelock? You gonna be about
Yeah.
6 hours from me? No, not
I
even.
had enough of no
How far
food.
is Havelock from Myrtle
It's about
Beach?
4.5.
How far is it? It's 4 hours?
Uh, about 3.5 hours.
Oh, you gonna be further. Okay, then it's
Yeah,
about the
three and a
same
half, 4 hours.
distance. Then to you mean from Charlotte to Havelock, or
Yeah,
from
about the
Havelock to
same. Yeah.
Myrtle? Now I'm trying to see how much you gonna be for
No,
me once you
Charlotte
get the
is
half
2.5
hours.
hours.
Oh, so you saying Myrtle?
It
I'm in
ain't that
North Myrtle,
far.
so North Myrtle the half hour. That's what I thought, because I know she would always be saying she going out that way, and it was somewhere out that way. But yeah, okay, we'll get up for sure. For sure, hit me up on some other stuff, and we'll kick it
All
some
right.
more.
Okay.
Yeah, we gotta break some bread
Okay.
sometime. I don't know how you be throwing down in the kitchen, but I ain't to find out. And I'll throw down too. So I'm gonna bring my cooking skills. All right, I'll be
Okay,
talking to
Bob,
you.
I got you.
Peace, Queen. All right,
All right. Peace, love, and light.
all right, all right. So that was Queen tapping in for the day. I am all that I am. It was a great speech, great conversation, I should say. I was very motivated, and I'm quite sure if you got something out the deal, um, and you were motivated, then I'm thankful that it all went down the way that it did. Till the next time, I am all I am inspiration. Share this with many friends and many family members and tell someone. Until the next time, as I always tell you, stay